Picture this, a young man dressed in a sharp black suit with a first-class ticket in a first-class compartment, sitting on a train in South Africa. The train is speeding up, it's dark outside, and the conductor approaches this man. "You're not allowed here, please move to the third-class compartment." This man is confused. He's like, he didn't even see my first-class ticket, so he shows him and he says, "I have a first-class ticket, so I'm in the right place." He says, "You're not allowed here," and he repeats, "Please go and sit on the floor in that corner near the driver." The man protests. He's beaten up. And when the train approaches the platform, he's thrown off to the platform, the luggage tossed after him. Now, the entire night, this man spends on that cold platform, shivering, thinking, what should I do? Should I return to India? Or should I spend time here and protest and fight for my rights? He did return to India, but after 21 years fighting for justice and equality. Yes, you know him. That man, that young man was Mahatma Gandhi. How many of you have heard this story? This train incident laid the foundation for his lifelong struggle. He developed and practiced satyagraha there first, and then he came to India, and the rest we know is history. Throughout history, leaders have used the power of stories to lead, to connect, and influence people. What is it about stories that we connect, that they touch our hearts, they move our minds, and inspire action? Exactly this is what I'm going to share today. I stumbled upon this empath formula through my own life experience. Do you know that stories influence us because they activate key mechanisms in our brain? Do you know that? Yes or no? No? Yes? Okay. You're about to see stories very differently. So when I share today the empath formula, you will never see stories the way you see right now. So are you ready? Type yes if you're ready. So where do I point this? Okay, great. So I was in Indore attending a wedding, and an incident that really brought the hard truth of my life. I didn't want to see this part of me at all. Throughout the 2 days of wedding, I was with my parents and family members and relatives. And in between, whenever I went to change, I felt something was not wrong, something was not right here. I felt tightness in my chest. Felt maybe this is something I need to share with my family, but I didn't. I thought I'm strong and this too shall pass like every other time. So this was not the first time I was feeling tightness in my chest. So 2 days passed and I said, okay, let me spend some more time with my parents. So I told my husband Manish that, Manish, I am going to Akola. And since in startup, I've never spent a little more time with my family members. So I'll spend time, startup. Okay. It was after 12 years of my software career, I was doing this startup, first startup, and it was not working like we imagined the $1 million startup that we wanted to build. Now, during the entire cab journey, the car journey, road journey from Indore to Akola, I still continue to feel the same thing. Parents with me, relatives with me, and I am there in my head, palpitations, and I didn't share with my family members that I needed help. I was like, I'm strong enough to go through this. My daughter was there, like 5, 6 years old. She was accompanying me. I reached Akola, spent 2 days there. Every time, this pain would pass. But this time, it just grew stronger and stronger. And I realized I wasn't the same strong person I was. After all, I was the star kid of my family, 100% in physics, chemistry, and mathematics in 12th. Computer engineer, the first engineer from my family. Got Dhirubhai Ambani to scholarship, to sponsor my education. The person to earn the highest in my family. So of course, I was like Tata and Ambani of my family. And how can I tell this to my family that I'm going through this? But I couldn't hold it anymore. And I told my mother, Mom, I need to see a doctor. So they took me to a heart specialist, obviously, because I kept complaining that there's something wrong here. The doctor checks. I thought that he's going to do the ECG and we'll go through some operation or something and then I'll be fine. But instead of the ECG, he asked me, okay, how's your relationship with your husband? And how's your work? Is there any conflict at work? And I'm like, no, nothing wrong. And he said, probably you're borderline depressed. The word depression. And I'm like, oh, he's out of his mind. How is that possible? I cannot be that person. So I returned to Navi Mumbai, where I stay right now, and continued. The suffering went on. Every time I stepped out of my house, the feeling would rush to me. I felt out of breath. One such incident when I am in my car, I'm the driver of the car, my daughter next to me, I just picked her up, the signal is red, and it again comes to me. I'm feeling breathless. And I can't even tell to my daughter, she's just 5-6 years old. Probably she remembers, and I'm like, give me your water bottle. And I empty the water bottle on my head. And that day I decided, I am not this person. And I'm going to change this. I went to the doctor, my family doctor. He said, Sweta, you need to see a psychologist. And there it was. I started crying. And it went on for days. I went to the psychologist. He introduced me to the word agoraphobia. Phobia of going out of comfort zones. And there it was, taking pills after pills, 1 year, no improvement. But I said, I'm going to change this. So I started walking, taking good care of myself, and started doing things that I love to do, which is reading a lot of books. So closed down the startup, and this is what it looked like. Okay? Walk, run, come back, read a book. Walk, run, come back, read a book. Modi ji started following me on Twitter. I'm like, wow. Okay, so let's do something now. So I started also now reading and thinking, okay, what can I do for him as a gratitude, way of saying thanks to him. So I thought, why not write a book on him? So I started learning on how to write a book. So now this is what was happening. Even 700 meters was a challenge for me to walk and run. And a year of this passed. So then I was doing 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, coming back, reading a book, writing my book, walk, run, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, reading a book, publish my first book, second book, third book, fourth book. Oh my God, 21 kilometers. I could do a half marathon, coming back, read more books, write more books. People like, teach us what you're doing. And I stopped taking the pills. I started loving my life. It was as if I was alive again. And in this, I did my first full marathon, 42.2 kilometers in 2020. I am right now on book number 17 and have built the largest community of authors in India through the India Authors Academy. How it all happened. I think agoraphobia has been a gift of my life. The struggles that I faced, I think I turned my struggles into success. And I believe this is just the beginning. So how many of you want to build something big of your own? You want to be the giants of your lives? I'm going to share the empath formula that I stumbled upon. I can say it's a gift of agoraphobia that I'm going to share right now. Ready? Okay, say yes if you are. So I'm going to make this fun. Okay, I'm not going to give it so easily to you. So what does E stand for? Do you know what neuroscience says? That if you have this in your story, then it fires up amygdala, the emotional center of your brain. Can you take a guess? What is that? Do you know that leaders use stories to influence not individuals but mobilize masses? It's actually the center or the reason why communities are built. It's a foundation of our culture, our tradition. So why it works? E is for emotion. Yes, emotion is the heart of story. And this is the reason why TEDx also works. It asks us to share our stories. How many of you feel connected to me now because you know my story? This is what you do. You share about yourself, your vulnerabilities authentically. So when I'm going to share this empath formula, I'm also going to share how do you apply it in your life so that you can become the giant of your lives. And the change begins inside out. So till the time I was not accepting who I am, I wasn't seeing my bigger purpose. The moment I did this, I became authentic and started sharing about my authenticity. I started feeling life. So, this is what Harvard psychology professor says, that if you aren't feeling, you aren't even reading or listening. So if you have great knowledge, wisdom, what is the point of it if you're not able to make people connect to you? You want people to trust you? You want people to love you, to become your fans and followers? So whatever I'm sharing right now, you can apply it to build a huge influence online as well. And of course, both written and spoken words as well. So emotion is what gives meanings to your words. It's not logic. How many feel like amazed? Wow. Emotion is what you see, how you interpret events. So that's your first E. Okay? So how do you use it is to share your story authentically. Be you. When you embrace yourself is there, where your power lies, in your authenticity. Okay? Now M. What is M? How many of you love him? Whoa, I love him too. So when you're a movie star or when your favorite person enters the big screen or the small screen, do you cheer for them? You feel good? There's something going on in your body? When they fight, when they run, when they do anything on screen, what is happening in your body? Take a guess. I'll give you another hint. When you see a horror movie, what is happening? Do you get scared? But you already know you're watching a movie, then why are you getting scared? This is what you need when you are sharing your stories. Do you know that people start mirroring neurons? When I started reading books, I started mirroring the authors, the great people that I was reading. I started mirroring them. And when you are reading my story, you went through my story, this neural pattern that I have of myself, I just transferred it to you by sharing relatable stories. Give me a wow if you think that's amazing. Wow. And do you know that functional MRI confirms? So it's scientifically proven that when you hear a story or watch a story or listen to a story, your brain activity isn't that of a participant, isn't that of an observer. Okay? You are a participant. That means when you are cheering your movie star on the stage, you are not cheering them, you're cheering your own self. So that is, M is mirroring neurons. So basically, you make audience walk in your shoes. And how do you do that? By sharing relatable experience and showing. How many of you felt out of breath when I shared about my experience? How many of you took a deep breath when I was out of breath? Mirroring neurons. Okay? You just mirrored me. And when the Ganjana said that, I'm mirroring what is coming to me because it is all science. P. What is P for? Humans love this. When someone asks you a question and then they don't reply, you won't like it. And then you'll be like, why did you ask if you don't know the answer? Okay. P is for pattern. We love the pattern because they make us feel complete. Start, middle, and end. How many of you make content on social media? Okay. And then they'll be always like, hook, content, call to action. And if you don't make that content complete, people will stop engaging with you because they feel cheated. Oh, they didn't complete it. Why would I go ahead and check the next one? So P is for pattern. Have a pattern in your storytelling. If you follow a clear story arc, you will be able to release hormones. And if I did it right, I was able to release hormones in all your bodies, like in each one of you. So let me explain it to you. When you start it right, then you are able to release dopamine in their bodies, in your audience bodies. When dopamine is released, how do you feel? You feel good. When tension increases, cortisol is released. And when you close that story well, and you make people happy, fulfilled, endorphin, serotonin is released. So when you tell great stories, and that's why great leaders are great storytellers, and why people cling to them. Have you seen that online, there are some influencers who are like, they have great number of followers. It's because people are clinging to them because they're hooked to them. Why? They don't even know, because their bodies love it, because they are able to release these hormones in their body. So when you go out and share stories, what do? How do you apply this? Okay. So what do is you practice. Practice is the key, and also understanding the clear story arc. And this is for both offline as well as online. Good? How many of you are learning something new right now? Thank you. So, have you seen kids? They always demand attention, the toddlers. And if you don't give them that attention, where would you find them? They'll be smeared in paints, or they would be playing with water, or they'll be near fire, and you'll be like, okay, I can't even miss say 1 second. Now, if you have awesome knowledge, wisdom with you, but you're not able to hold A, you miss the point, because that person is going to the next person. That's what happens online as well. What is A? A is the ability to hold attention. If I'm not able to do that, then even if I have the empath formula, you are not learning. And I'm not able to impact you if I'm not able to hold your attention here. So how do you hold the attention? Ask me how. So one conflict leads to next conflict. One question leads to next question. How many of you are observing I am asking you a lot of questions? Yeah? So that's A, the ability or the skill of holding attention. And there are various ways to hold attention. So that's A. And you know what is happening here? With every answer, I'm asking and I'm answering, dopamine is released in your body. And you're loving it. How many of you are loving it? Thank you. So this is what you need to do when you are applying this empath formula. You need to hold the attention. There are various techniques, but easiest is to open a question, to close a question. And in books, how we do is you open a big conflict at the start, and then you close it at the end, and people will be like, okay, what happened next? Will they be able to do it? Will they be successful? What if this fails? And they'll keep watching or reading or be with you. Same goes on social media, and that is the reason why you're hooked, because dopamine is getting released in your body. Okay, so this is what you can do. That brings me to T. And what is T? How many of you have seen or read about caterpillar transforming into a butterfly? We all love transformation because they inspire us. They tell us, what can I do about my own life? How can I win my own life battles? How can I overcome my own struggles? So T is the soul of your story. E is the heart of story, which is emotion. T is the soul of your story. What is the transformation, the key takeaways from your talk, from your content? That's transformation. So from struggles to success, from oppression to transformation, from challenge to change, people love this. You know why? Because it gives them hope that even they can do it. So that's transformation. And how do you do it? So when you share, there has to be key lessons into it. So when you share, always look for, okay, how can I impact people with my story? So share lessons, have a clear call to action in your talk. So this is what it is, the empath formula. We did emotion, and then mirror neurons, and then attention, and then transformation, patterns, attention, transformation. The thing is, this is inside out. Meaning, before you can go ahead and impact others, what you need to do is start impacting your own self. And that's what I realized, and that's how my personal fear, my journey of overcoming agoraphobia became the foundation of building the largest community of authors, because it inspired them to share their stories. It inspired them to become the influencers and giants of their life. So giants aren't born. Giants aren't born. They become based on what stories they share and live. So I call upon all of you that you have the power. Your story is the power. Go write it, share it, live it. Thank you.